Well, hello, welcome along. Thank you for coming. I do hope we're going to do a good show for you today. My name's David Beard. I'm here with my colleague RC Lim, and together we're going to talk to you today about the potential that is Sage CRM and how you can make it available within your Sage 300 accounting product. I want to talk to you first of all, before I hand over to RC, about the real value that is in adding CRM to your Sage 300 installation. And I wanted to do that by talking to you just a couple of things from analysts that have been looking at the size and the industry that people like you, our customers, are involved in. And the big headline still in 2020 is all about efficiency. It's customer relationship management, helping your entire business, whatever you do and however you do it, to be more efficient. A survey company, an analyst company called Software Advice, looked at what people like you were interested in getting from customer relationship management, or CRM. And you can see why I pulled out that headline on the first slide. 29% of you talked about this idea of wanting to be more efficient in how you go to market with whatever you sell, organizing the information and making sure it's available to every team, every person right across your company. You were looking for something that was simple, straight out of the box, ready to go, or configurable to match your need. And you want it to be valuable, as in it has to be worth doing. It doesn't want to cost you a lot of money. And I think particularly in times of COVID-19, that's a very strong point to make. You want to use something that works for you almost immediately without spending too much money on it. And you also need expert help. People like Sage resellers right across Asia who know the product, who understand business, and then bring those two sectors of domain expertise together to make the product do what it needs to do for you quickly, simply, efficiently. Interestingly too, the software advice company, when they asked people like you what was important in terms of CRM, it was actually the basic, simple parts: contact management, tracking of interactions, and scheduling and reminders. It was very interesting for me to read this because, having been working with Sage CRM for some years now, I would expected more customers to be thinking about more of marketing automation or maybe some clever Salesforce control. But no, still, it's people needing good, solid, back to basic CRM, looking after who they know, making sure they keep a record of what was said to whom and when, and making sure that they follow up on activities, on reminders, on post-sale activity. Then it's important to also be able to modify and configure the system or customize the system. We know with tens of thousands of customers around the world that Sage CRM does some great things straight out of the box. And for a lot of customers, that's actually all they need. It's the contact management, the interaction tracking. But as you evolve your usage, or perhaps your business is a bit different with your workflows or your automation, you want to be able to modify and customize. And that's important, and that's something we can do for you as well. This same firm also looked at what people like you use at the moment. And putting aside the first bar, 32% of you having CRM software, what was interesting for me is the next three bars on the left. Some 59% of you are struggling with nothing or spreadsheet or a combination of old systems and maybe file shares and Outlook and things like that. And I think that's fascinating because this idea that we all have many tools in our office, don't we? Technology tools, Outlook, Excel, maybe a copy of Act, maybe something else someone signed up to. And they're all good tools and they do things in a certain way for certain people. But what they don't do is bring together all the information into one view. And as RC will show you shortly, this idea of having this 360-degree view so that you can see on top of your accounting information, your transaction information, what else is going on with a customer? What have they done with you in the last 6 months? Who's received a marketing communication? Who hasn't? Who's bought for you but hasn't bought for you in a month or two? And so on. And what's interesting about this study, it went on to talk about this idea that some people have CRM at the top bar left, on the left-hand side there, but they're not really getting the value they think they should do from it. And I think that speaks very much to this idea of having expert help to help you get it right. Okay, this idea that, I suppose my equivalent story is, sometimes we want to maybe design something at home. Maybe you want to build a house. I don't know, whatever. But unless you're an expert, getting started is hard, right? You don't necessarily know the rules. You maybe don't have the right tools. Sure, you could teach yourself, but that takes time. Why not instead talk to an expert who can help you not only understand the software, but give you advice on where to start? Most of our customers are very much similar to the people like you we're talking to today, that works for businesses in all shapes and sizes around the world. And indeed, most of our businesses take up to about 20 seats. If you look at the license graphic on the left there, you'll see between 3 and 20 or 19, 75% of our customers are in that zone. That doesn't mean they're only 20 people, by the way. It just means that they have chosen to have maybe 3 seats in the sales team and another 3 seats in the customer services team or whatever. Obviously, my ambition, as it is for the rest of Sage Asia, is to make sure you have it on every desk in your business, because that's where you get the true value, that 360-degree view on everybody's desk. And we know, and we encourage you to talk to your Sage partner for making the best of CRM. So that's my intro. I hope that's useful for you. I hope that sets the scene. I will hand over to RC to take you through the next part of the story. And I just wanted to remind everybody, if they wanted to put questions into the question panel, that's fine. I will be monitoring those in the background, and I will either draw them to RC's attention or answer them at the end once RC has done his demonstration. So over to you, RC. It's your show now.
Thanks, David. Are you able to see my screen and hear me well?
Yes, we can, and yes, we can hear you. Off you go.
Okay, thanks a lot. Hi guys, I'm logging in as a Susan May. I have granted the administrator rights for this persona that I'm going to walk you through with Sage CRM and the extension with Sage 300 out of the box integration. Meaning to say that what you see today is what you are going to get if using a full integration with Sage 300 web screen. So before I go through the demo, let me explain what is Sage CRM itself. Sage CRM comes in 3 main pillars. One is the marketing, one is the Salesforce automation, and we still have the case management. So what today we are going to stress on is the Salesforce automations that will pull or gets the financial information rights to Sage CRM itself. What you're looking at the screen is once I log in, this is the dashboard landing page. This is installed in the cloud. So Sage CRM is a web-based. You are able to install on-prem or either on cloud versions. And there is no much of difference that for the experience of using the Sage CRM as long as you have internet connections. On the top of the panel, you'll be able to see My CRM. There is anything that is pertaining to you. Team CRM is when you do a so-called separation of teams or group up with teams that you have departmentals. We have a lot of out-of-the-box reportings that is already pre-built and you are able to generate on the fly. Marketing campaigns that we are able to do this campaign management. Finally, what is the new improvement is the quick search. That in fact, it will go down to each of the entity. They will search any keywords that is pertaining to each of the individual entities. So Sage groups every single data source or the point of data collection, for example, company, persons, or even your opportunity as an entities. So just get used to the terminology. Any question you can ping us, then we will reply accordingly. So we have the on-screen notifications. So this will be a kind of alerts that will tell you there's any high value opportunity that can be triggered on screen via email, or even if you have a SMS or C connected to, you are able to send out SMS. The favorite icon that I'll be using often for this demo, recent entities or records that you have accessed is over here, and administration control panel that you are able to change your preference or administrations which David has mentioned that Sage CRM is highly configurable and customizable, that we always use the administrations that create certain new entity or some customizations. I'll talk about that in technical section if there's one, but today we'll just walk through the whole process of how the CRM is. So when you log in, you'll probably see the dashboard itself. This dashboard is an interactive dashboard that you can have a snapshot of your business regarding your sales, the news that you are able to do a RSS feed from Google or this BBC News that you can pull into your dashboarding. You can have even your tasks and what are the notifications or alerts that you have. These are all configurables that you can configure on the fly and put in the information that is pertaining to use. Once you log in, you're probably able to start your work for the days. Let me talk about the calendars. In the calendars itself, you are able to create all the tasks, informations, or those kind of appointments that you have, the follow-ups call to your prospect, etc. And take notes that this calendar actually has an integration, can do integrations directly to your Microsoft Outlooks, which means that you don't need to switch your screens to go to Microsoft Outlooks, and you are able to create appointments that directly syncs to your Outlook. So most of them are mobile savvy. Once you are on the desk that you are interacting with Sage CRM, it actually will push the data back to your mobile phone and you can work on the fly either and so on. For the list itself, this is where all the marketing leads are created. So marketing lead is the entry points where all these potential on cold or whether hot leads that you actually generate. And Sage itself have a marketing campaign management. So let's take a look at a marketing campaign where this is the entry point of your sales of company. So within the marketing campaigns, we are able to keep track of the budgeted campaign that is versus with your actual cost. And we classify it as a wave and followed by the wave activities that we are able to track all these budgeted and cost. So how do we do these realizations, whether it's these campaigns so-called effective or not? By showing the analysis, we are able to see how much of the opportunity is created, whether it is qualified, and finally what we are looking at as the agreed sales. What does this information actually helps? It actually helps the marketing or the marketer saying that whether am I doing the above the line, below the line, or the through the line campaign is effective, and it actually brings in the amount of leads that you have and convert these leads into the final sales. And this portion will be very strong points for marketing to request for a new budget or even to do a new campaign that is somehow aligned to the yearly campaigns that the amount of budget they are going to request for, especially during this time when the COVID-19 or these paramedics happens. All of us are tightening our budget, and choosing the most cost-effective campaigns allows them to continue to generate the amount of leads and also to keep the company sustained. So talking about the above the line or below the line campaign, actually we have this below the line that is strongly integrated with MailChimp. So Sage CRM actually have a tightly integrations with MailChimp itself. So in fact, I have just created a demo data set using a MailChimp. MailChimp is actually an email electronic direct mailer that actually enables you to send out direct emails to your segmentations of customers using CRM. You are able to segmentize your prospects and later on send these contacts to MailChimp. And using MailChimp, you are able to do your A/B testing of your emailer, this so-called whether they are nurturing these prospects and later convert to an opportunity. So this is the entry points where you create a generate list, and all these informations can be kept tracked in MailChimp, but we are pulling in this information directly into CRM itself, that as a single platform, you are able to do your marketing process. So having such much that we are able to get the list for your company, Now we are talking about how to handle these leads in the sales process. So in my CRM with opportunity, so just now I'm looking at, a lead is converted to opportunity once you have qualified, means that you have done your BA&T, whether the budget, authority person, the needs and the timelines that you have qualified, or even further qualifications that you have done. So after the lead stage, you will convert it to an opportunity. Within the opportunity itself, you are able to see different stages in the opportunity and what is your forecast. This forecast will relatively tell you what is upcoming cash flows that you have. There is a strong indicators that what are the cash that you are coming in, or what are the deal size are coming in, and you can do your sales forecast and so on and so forth. But definitely there's salesperson saying that this opportunity is not likely to come in this month. Therefore, we have this forecast tab that actually will aggregate the roll up the amount, telling that whether you do a commit of the opportunities that is assigned to you, or you are the one who created, you are able to do the scenario of excluding that it doesn't come in this month, a likelihood, the best case means that it will hopefully comes in and so on. And this will better do a forecast in the overview of your sales pipeline. And at the end of it, the reporting and the roll-up portion will be based on whoever is reporting to you, and it rolls up into the total amount. This provides a better views of your sales pipeline forecasting rather using the overall opportunity view. So I'm using this to tell you what is the difference between out of the box and the ones that is integrated company. So 3G Home is out of the box company. So what you see when you go into a company before you're creating an opportunity, there's no financial information that you can is available here, and it only provides you a promote to a Sage 300. However, for Ronald Black itself, this is already integrated that all the financial information is pulled into CRM. You are able to see the group code, the tax group, term code, the credit limit. So think about it that when the customers call in and they are asking for to create to put orders, at the one glance you are able to know what is the credit limit that they have. If you are asking for a high value of so-called quotation, there will be some approving workflows in between, especially when CRM is in place. Approval workflow will no longer be a problem, as we have this comprehensive workflow in between of the CRM itself. So at the one glance, you are able to see the item inventory. This inventory is the Sage 300 inventory informations. All the informations are coming from Sage 300. So as long as you maintain the master data in Sage 300, you are able to pull the IC items, so-called your products items in here. Taking an example, customer call in, I want to look for a product. I can go to the inventory, directly replies to the customer whether the product is, how many products we have in hand. You are able to do the filtering directly. And you can directly reply to the customer over the line, or in fact, just a quick, just via email, so you can check without going back to the back office, or go and call up to your inventory or warehouse managers to ask whether there's any stocks in your backend office. Not only that, within the AR inquiries, we are able to see others' financial information. Like what are the posted transactions, unposted invoice, and the aging trial balance. So taking a look at our aging trial balance, we know whether the customer pay up, whether they are credit healthy to us, and so on. We are able to print out the reports. All the reports are residing in Sage 300. So your template will reside in Sage 300, where all the financial information are pulled in. Your reports templates are pulled into Sage CRM. This integration allows you to keep a so-called printout as a PDF and latest using CRM to send it out as an email or so on. So how to integrate the opportunities directly goes to Sage 300 is during the opportunity portion. In the quotes and orders tabs, it is no longer the out-of-the-box quote and orders tabs. All these quotations and orders are pulling information from Sage 300. There's no product items that is already kept in Sage CRM. All the master data will be all in Sage 300 itself. So within the quotes, you are able to see the customer informations, including the text. And what is the difference that why we have this Sage CRM integrated to Sage 300 is most of the time we don't create one quote just for the customer. Perhaps there's a revised quote, etc. And we have this total, whether to include in the total opportunity or not. It could be a separate quotations that you need 2 quotes for this opportunity, or a single quotes that give to this single opportunity. So we have these options whether to total up the opportunity, that it doesn't beef up the opportunity total values, and it will be better in the total so-called the sales pipeline. So when you post it, this information will actually send to Sage 300 itself. Is a tightly integrated, it's a bi-directional integrations. So what I'm talking about the tracking portion is every time you do any interaction with the quotations, you actually have these tracking portions that in between what you have interacts with Sage 300 itself. Not only that, within Sage CRM opportunity, you actually have this tracking, that is the workflow that I've mentioned earlier. At each individual stage, you are able to track how the salespersons interact with the opportunity and so on and so forth. And finally, we have the solution portion. So within the team, we have these solution pipelines. So, sorry, give me a moment. Within the solution pipeline, you're actually able to go into each individual case. Yeah. Within the case itself, you are able to see who logs the case to you. For example, there are certain SLA bind. We have this SLA that actually can track when is the case being resolved based on the SLA lights. So for example, if your SLA is later by the compliance that you agree with the customer, that it actually appear as a red light, within the SLA, you're probably in the green light, and near to over the SLA, it will be amber light. So within the team CRM, you are able to do this round robin issuing of a reassign of case, where each individual support personnel can pick up the case by a round robin or assigned directly by the customer service manager. We have the solution itself, which is a mini KB, a mini knowledge base that actually allows you to tag different case with these solutions. In fact, when the customer call in, you can go through the solutions and answer it directly over the phone using the solution by searching all these mini KB. Like what David has said, why Sage CRM is highly customizable. Sage CRM provide a REST API that enables you to open up certain information within Sage CRM. Taking example, if you are going to open up the solution itself, you are able to create this kind of customer-facing FAQ that actually pull this kind of solutions published onto the website. That is the extension portion of Sage CRM can do. So to conclude this demo, I would say that Sage CRM is a must because research says that 20% of your existing customer is made up of 80% of your revenue. And during this time and this period of difficulty periods, everyone is holding on their budget, and where you need to service your customer is how the first touch point of different departments, that the experience that you give to the customer. And via word of mouth is rather than you do the above the line, through the line, or below the line marketing. That is the most effective marketings that you can do. And that's all there for my demo. Thank you. David, over to you.
Thanks, RC. So that's a very useful and, well, comprehensive summary of why CRM works so well with the underlying or underpinning accounting information. Particularly, as RC has talked about, this idea that in the times we're in, looking after customers and making it easy for your staff to look after customers is so important. I wanted to give you, by way of closing up the session, a little reminder of the top level features, some of which RC has touched on, but equally just to give you this snapshot set of images for you to take away. And my suggestion, my ask of you is that when you leave today, that you think about how well you do, your business does or does not bring together information to make it easier for your staff to get a complete view of customer data. So RC talked about this idea of bringing together from lots of different parts of the business concepts like leads, opportunities, cases, or solutions. And this is a summary snapshot of one of the screens he showed you. This particular one is opportunities, but you can see how at the top I've put a green box around the other areas. So what we're doing here with CRM on top of Sage 300 is giving users instant access to data such as sales, like you see there, and how you can drill down from the first screen, which is almost like the My CRM area. You can drill into individual locations to understand what this company is doing, who they are, what they bought, what they might be buying. Maybe also you want to look at all the communications. So it could be not just the ones you've had with the person you're talking to, but all the communications that your colleagues are having or have had with other people in the company as well. And we all know, if you think about your own life, dealing with a local business, the electricity company, whoever it is, right, that you kind of expect everybody to understand the last conversation you had with them, right? And that's the point we're making here. Everyone in your business, no matter where they are working, can have instant access to what's been going on. And also to understand, if you're looking after them post-sale, customer service, the ability for people to drill into service incidents or tickets or cases, as we call them, but you can call them anything you like. That's part of the configuration, so that you can see not only in the top screen there a list of all the cases that someone might be working on in your business, but to drill through and look at individual details. So seeing the customer view. RC also talked about this idea of having this sort of display of dashboards and gadgets where you can have information about, well, sales or service or the BBC or anything else. And this idea that the CRM part of the product will give you capability of managing your calendar. You can see it in a day, a week, a month. And a couple of you have asked in the questions as well, yes, you can integrate into Microsoft Exchange and you can have that, and other calendaring systems can be integrated with third-party offerings, as well as connecting to your mail systems as well. The ability to have what we call multi-user activities. Sometimes 2 or 3 of you need to be on a call or a meeting with a customer. So the idea of not only creating your own calendar appointments or tasks, but including your colleagues as well. And all of this is automatically put into their calendars at the same time. One thing we didn't talk of, or show particularly, but this is a very powerful part of the product as well, is a workflow tool built into the product. It allows you to define your own business processes. And business processes can be anywhere in your business. There could be the way you manage a lead and who it gets sent to, which person, based on the product, based on the region, based on the amount of value. It could be a customer service ticket. It could be that the ticket for solving product X problems goes to person Y, but if you're solving a product Z problem, it goes to person B. and so on. So you make sure that the ticketing and the cases are put to the right people who can solve the problems in the right way. And that makes sure that activities are carried out with your policies or your rules and your timeframes. That's the other big thing as well, of course. People are expecting customer service cases to be answered in good time, okay? And you can make sure that happens using the Sage CRM tool to get things to flow through the business the way they should, without you having to write it down, without you having to remember, without you having to remind your colleagues to come back to you. And reporting, RC touched on the reporting engine in the product. It's built in. You can have other reporting tools, by the way. We don't say you have to use this one, but there is one built in which makes it easy. And you have a category or many categories of reports there, including, as I've highlighted, sales or leads reports that allow you to manage or monitor your business in simple on-screen or Excel or PDF reports. You can use the existing ones that we have in the demonstration system, as RC has looked at, or you can create new ones, and they're very, very simple. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to do those. RC highlighted the dashboards earlier. We have lots of what we call widgets, and widgets allow you to build the display, a head-up display, if you will, of what's important to your business. And dashboards can be set up for teams, so you can see how a team is doing based on sales, or how a team is doing based on customer service, or how a team is doing based on marketing campaigns. Or you can have individual dashboards for individuals. Who are the people I need to call today? What warranties are coming up that I need to ring and make sure are progressed? And so on. Really, anything in the dashboards is customized or should be customized to map to your business. What are your key performance indicators? What are your monthly reporting needs? What are your team management needs? Think about those sorts of questions. Think about how you do it now, and then think about how you can make them look really slick and clever and be presented to everybody in the business every time they log into Sage CRM. And finally, we talked about this idea of this integrated to business, and of course, Sage CRM out of the box integration with Sage 300. And as RC has adequately shown there, this idea that you can take an opportunity, you can check on inventory, you can drill in and see what's in stock, you can create a quote, you can then put that all into a quote document, a PDF, and email it out, and you can keep track of the history, what's happened. Do we need to follow this up? Is there a workflow in place that makes sure a quote is followed up automatically? This idea of you get this consistent view of data, you reduce the need to have to key systems in different ways, copy and paste, send it to someone else to put into the account system, etc. It makes everybody much more efficient. And if you remember my opening slides, what's the big thing everyone wants? Being more efficient, particularly in difficult times as we're in now. So, as I said, my ask, my reminder, my question to you before you leave today is, your accounting software, Sage 300, helps your business plan, account, and study transactional information. But what about the rest of your company? Where is information stored? How well are you harnessing it? How well are you managing it? What's your plan for customer relationship management? And that's the really thoughtful piece I wanted to leave you with today. Now, I'll see we've answered a number of questions on the way through, so that's all good. Thank you for your questions, everybody. I don't think necessarily there's anything left I need to pick up on. If you do need any additional, because most of the questions have been sort of underpinning technical questions, do speak with your partner or Sage Asia representatives. They are the experts in making this product do what it needed to do. But if you'd like to read a little bit more about the Sage CRM and its technical guidance, at this URL, help.sagecrm.com, you can read all the release notes, the hardware and software requirements, and all the system administration information that helps you understand the way the product is put together, how the users might use it, how you'd set it up, and including things like how you would integrate beyond the standard one with Sage 300, because the product is very flexible in allowing you to build connections and integrations with all sorts of things, not just accounting. So I'd encourage you to go and have a look at that. In the meantime, I think we'll draw this to a close. I'm happy to take any more verbal questions if everyone's up for that, I'll unmute everyone. You can feel free to throw a question to us, and RC and I will do our best to answer it. So I've opened up the mics. Off you go. Anyone have a question? I thought that might happen. No one's got anything to say, but that's okay. That's quite okay. RC, thank you for your help. I hope that was...
There's a few questions. Yep.
Oh, we do have a question. Go ahead. No, we don't have a question. All right, I'm going to shut everyone down then. Thanks, RC, for your help today. Thank you for Sage Asia for putting this together. I hope it's been useful to everyone on the call, and I hope you will spend the time thinking about how, in this time of COVID-19, Sage CRM can help you work a lot better, and think about the way you can make all the information you need to look after customers available to everybody, wherever they're working. For today, for now, thanks very much. There'll be a recording of this, and I'm sure Sage Asia will make this available at some point in the near future. But for now, thank you and goodbye.